it's not like on a marketplace, but for sale by owner is that exception. And we would be sitting across the table from each other, and like this guy would have capital, this guy would have a property, like everybody had everything that they needed to close a deal. Like this guy wants to buy, this guy wants to sell. And then the communication, it wasn't there at all.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Deal Podcast. In today's episode, we have guest Joseph Hunike. How are you doing, Joseph?
Hey, guys, what's going on today? I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
Good, man.
Great. So tell us a little bit, how is real estate fitting into your picture?
Well, right now, like you can obviously tell, like Silicon Valley Bank has gone bankrupt, and like as multifamily investors, we all know that when there's blood in the streets, it's a good time to buy. So I want to say last week I actually started having some deals kind of like come through the pipeline. Owners are starting to understand that they're kind of at that peak point if they want to make like maximum value on their assets. So I'm starting to see the volume increase for sellers. So if that keeps going, it's going to be a buyer's market. You know, like when everybody's selling, there's more opportunity for buyers. So like with these banks and everything crashing, it's a moment of opportunity to acquire if that's what you're looking for. So that's what's been going on with me lately. Now, I have a website called multivested.com. It is a commercial real estate network. And basically what the website does and what it is, it's a real estate platform, a network for owners. The slogan is your network is your net worth. And basically it was based off of Michael Blank's masterclass multifamily teachings. And what it does is it gives owners a place to sell their properties without any broker interference or without any solicitation interference. It's specifically for owners. And on the buyer side, it's like for sale by owner off market, right? Like technically it's on the market, like it's listed, but it's specifically for sale by owner without any middleman. So obviously there are significant benefits to that. Like when you add all these closing costs, it makes the price of the asset go up. So you have to pay a higher price, and the buyer kind of has maybe dropped his value a little bit, although they say the opposite, right? But yeah, so that's what that is. But it's still under development now. There are properties in there, but it's going to be almost like a Facebook, but for commercial real estate. Now, obviously, you can go to like 10X or LoopNet, and like you might be able to find like a for sale by owner assets, but not really. Like if you go to LoopNet and you type in like 50 unit multifamily somewhere, like you're probably not going to find it. You're going to see all of the brokers. They have the little name tags at the bottom of the pictures in there. This is just speaking from a industry perspective. And I'll kind of get into it in a minute. But basically, brokers as an entity have about 95% market share when it comes to transactions with commercial real estate. There is no online alternative. And like I said, you can go to LoopNet and stuff. You can like look for these properties. You can go to Craigslist. You might find some like smaller stuff, but you're not going to find really any of the bigger stuff. And what I'm trying to do is just simply provide an alternate for owners where they can go and they can sell by owner or they can purchase by owner. And that kind of fits into, I'm sure, what y'all have learned searching for sale by owner off market properties. I'm just giving people a place where they can go and do that. Now, the way that I do this is completely unconventional. It's wild. Like normally 10X, LoopNet, like all these properties are right there as soon as you go to the website. You have to apply to be a member for my website. So if you apply and you get accepted, once you get in there, it's the same thing. Like it's a listing marketplace, but all the owners post their property for sale by owner. So it's pretty cool, but it's also a social network, and I'm still developing this now. It's going to be kind of like a Facebook, where you can do syndications. You can message your friends, like say there's a property in there and it's a larger property, and the underwriting is good and you like it. You can message your friend in the platform just like on Facebook, and be like, hey, like I really like this property, like you can share it. And then like if y'all come together and do a syndication, whatever, you like it, then you directly message the seller in there. So it removes everything else. It's just sellers and buyers, no middlemen. And that's what the application process is for. If you go to Facebook and like you kind of cruise through all the off-market multifamily like groups, there's lots and lots of people. You might find groups of 100,000, like 50,000 people in there. And you get a lot of solicitations. Like I have a lot of like I'm members of lots of groups like this, and you get a lot of skip tracing. You get a lot of brokers. Like you get all this stuff, and it's just like it kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, some people post deals, but most of the deals that they post in those groups, it's wholesaling deals. My platform, it's specifically for people that want to close. So I don't accept wholesaling in there. It's specifically for sellers and for buyers that want to close. And you have to sign paperwork on that signifying that you're going to do that. And then say that there's somebody that's like not compliant. Like I can go in there, I can see like the messaging, I can see what they're doing. So if they're going there and they're like, oh, like soliciting offers, stuff like that, I'll just ban them from the site. But we don't have that issue. And most of the owners, there's minimum requirements for the membership, the owners that are in there. And you can see those on the website. So that, that keeps it professional, and that keeps it with people that can actually close on the properties too. Like I don't just let like 16-year-olds in the platform like, ooh, real estate. No, it's like professional people that this is what they do. They do commercial real estate. It might be multifamily. It might be industrial, whatever. Originally, my idea was to have it specifically for multifamily, but what I found is I have to open it up to everybody because, like I said, that 95% market share at brokers, like I'm providing a solution that's the opposite of that, where people can go and find properties and basically transact, without all of that, to save money, to find properties, all the stuff that we look for. I'm just providing an alternate solution for that. So it's really cool. I have multiple members. I've gotten a lot of great feedback. The members, they love it. Right now, I have it free because I have no marketing budget. Like I have a day job right now. So I do this on the side with working my day job. Like I'm actually taking a late lunch break right now. I actually just ran. That's probably why I look so sweaty and nasty right now. But yeah. So everybody loves it so far. And it's been nothing but great things about it, but it's completely free. So as long as you apply for membership and you get in, it's awesome. You can talk to your friends. There is a multifamily, or there's a mastermind exception. So if you don't meet the minimum requirements of assets under management, which there is a minimum, if you study and you form a capital company like yours, there's an exception where you can get in there. You can apply and you can get accepted. It's because you're involved in the industry and you've already had, like, I'm sure, like a mastermind, or you've been educated on it. And that's all part of the application process to be in there. And my goal is to have, I want it to be like a national marketplace across the United States. I want everybody to go in there because, if you're buying and you have less closing cost, you're going to be, that property's going to be able to cash flow just a little bit better if you can get a good deal, if you don't have all these costs in the middle associated pushing that asset price up. Now, from the seller's perspective, instead of just going with one broker, you're now posting your asset to every single member of the platform. So like if you were to get a broker in like Miami, they have a list. They might have a list of, I don't know, like maybe like 10,000 people, 20,000 people, all the people that they work with. This network, I would like it to be national. So instead of just those 10,000 people, I'd like 100,000 people to be able to look at it. There's no disclosure anymore. Like I've done Michael Blank's masterclass, and like I've learned all this stuff. And one of the first things that I did is I started looking for off-market properties right after I had learned the class, and that's just kind of like what I did. So I don't know. I was having an issue with just, I guess, talking to the brokers and stuff. Like I was taking brokers out to lunch and, trying to get some good deals, and nothing was really happening. And I mean, it had been like, I don't know, 3-4 months. I mean, they'd give me properties and stuff, but it was, I mean, when you underwrite the properties, it's like, I mean, from an investment perspective, you can't really buy them. It doesn't cash flow, right? Like when you buy a property, it has to cash flow. So after all the added expenses, closing costs, and like fees, it's like, I mean, it kind of kills you. If you take all that out, it gives you an extra maybe 2 or 3% where that property now cash flows. So then you can actually acquire it. And then from a seller's perspective, they can sell quickly depending on how long it takes for their brokerage firm to sign. It might take a week, it might take 2 weeks. They have to work out the listing agreement, all the details. Like if the broker has all that information, he can simply post it today and then theoretically start getting offers on it today if somebody in the platform likes that property. Now, once a property gets posted in there, emails go out to all the members. So as soon as you get an email, they come on the platform and they look at it. So I mean, it's an alternative, and it's very, very cool. But it's way better than Craigslist. So yeah,
Do you go out find properties as well, or you just provide the website to sellers and they post it by themselves?
they post it by themselves. Yeah. So I would say like an alternate competitor would be like Reonomy or something like that, or like
Mm-hmm.
CoStar, where you have to go and then they just give you the properties, and then you have to call the owners and then ask them if they want to sell. Like that process is so inefficient. Like I have a membership with Reonomy. It sucks. Like I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. Like I would never pay for that. You can get some owners, but most of the time they're like, who is this? Like you have to really like caress them to like get them to open up, and then, oh, like, do you want to sell your property? This way, the owners, they post it themselves direct for sale by owner. So that the owner wants to sell because their intention is to sell, but there's no middleman in the middle, if that makes sense. If you go to any other website or if you go anywhere else, it's not going to be like
Yeah.
that at all. The way that it kind of like works now, like you have to like call the owners, or you have to just
Mhm.
know somebody to get in. Now, this is just the industry in general. Now, I'm not hating on the middlemen. Like I understand that they have to make their bread too, and that's what they do. And one thing I will say is, like, before I had the application process, I had multiple brokers that were trying to get in the platform. Like I have an Excel sheet of like buyers and sellers, and that like sometimes they would be completely honest and sometimes they wouldn't.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not against them. Like I said, I understand the industry and I understand that that's how they make their money. But there's a heavy demand for it, is what I'm trying to say. But they can't get in unless they're an owner, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So it truly is an innovative, unique platform, and it's specifically for people like you, like capital companies, owners. Like if you like both of y'all, eventually y'all would be like owners, right, of your capital company. Like one person like raises the money, one person does the acquisition, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like I'm sure, right? Yeah. I mean, if you have a percent interest, an ownership interest, that works fine. And like I said, like right now it's free. So
Mhm.
like if every person, like if every member of your company was in there, like you can message each other and be like, hey, like, do you like this? Do you like this? It's you can get on your phone too and look at it, and just like
Mhm.
it's almost like Tinder, like you're swiping properties. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Apparently that you put a lot of thought into kind of the whole process and the need behind it. I'm curious, kind of from the very beginning, what was that aha moment where you're like, oh my God, I really need a platform like this?
I live in Miami, Florida, and I've lived down here since last February. And immediately when I came down here, I surrounded myself in the multifamily like real estate community. And basically it would be me and maybe like 20 other people, and like we'd sit around the table and like we'd be talking about like what we're looking for and like different things, and like educational and like learning. But I got frustrated because like everybody would talk about off market properties, and then you just like there's nothing online for it. The first thing that anybody does nowadays for like younger people, like I mean I'm a millennial, is they go online for this stuff. I mean, obviously off market, it's not like on a marketplace, but for sale by owner is that exception. And we would be sitting across the table from each other, and like
Mhm.
this guy would have capital, this guy would have a property, like everybody had everything that they needed to close a deal. Like this guy wants to buy, this guy wants to sell. And then the communication, it wasn't there at all. Or like this person over here is looking for a property specifically in northern Florida, not in southern Florida, but this dude's got a property in southern Florida. I'm just like if anything's ever going to happen, it needs to be a lot bigger community.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was multiple problems, but I do feel like it is solving a problem. But I mean, this is something I kind of do on the side. I'm not taking it like too seriously, but it is successful and it is working and it is free because I need more members, more property. And like, I'm not really marketing except for just posting stuff on Instagram and like Facebook and stuff. But I mean, I have multiple members and the application process, the way that I can identify these people are actually like not lying to me, right? Because you have to verify, like people lie all the time, is they have to send proof of ownership and assets under management. So they have to send like an SREO or closing statements or something like that. So all the members in there, like I have paperwork that they're actual members. I have members from San Francisco, Texas, like East Coast, and they can close a property if they want to. It just depends on where they invest at. And the number one issue is, when are you going to get properties like in my region, Joey? And I'm just like, guys, like I'm not marketing, but soon it's going to happen. And I mean, like with me doing this video, I mean, it is like self promo, so it is a little bit of marketing. But yeah, that's kind of like what I've been doing. Now, there's going to be an investment portion with the website too. So like, say that you apply and like you haven't done the masterminds and like, you don't meet the minimum requirements, you can still invest as an LP or like for passive, but you don't have a controlling share in the operations on the website also. So that in my opinion, that's like a fair thing for everybody. So it's not like, oh, like, haha, like we're up here, like you can't get in. It's not like that. It's like, I just want to make sure that it's very professional and we don't have a lot of like messing around going in there. Like, I don't want people to put a property under contract or put something under contract and then not be able to like close on it. I want that percentage to be higher. I don't want people just putting stuff under contract and, oh man, like I can't close it, because that just wastes time. I mean, we know that it takes, like 60, maybe 70 days to like close on a property. Everything has to be right. You have to do due diligence, like all that stuff. And if you let in like a bunch of people that don't know how to successfully do that, it can just ruin everybody's day and waste their time. And I don't want that. But that person could easily go and then invest. And like, y'all have your own capital company too. So they could have that passive cash flow the same way. I don't really know how I'm going to structure all that stuff yet, because I'm really focused on the marketplace and like the social network type right now. But eventually, like I'll probably have maybe like different funds, like, because it's not just multifamily, it's going to be like industrial and like office and stuff like that too. But I'm not even there yet. So I'm working with clients now individually that want to buy multifamily specifically, but like some of them are a little bit higher net worth, so they don't really want to do syndications as much. They want to own the majority themselves. So I'm kind of working with people like that too. So I'm doing all this stuff like while I have a day job also. So I'm kind of all over the place right now, but it works. Like, you can go in there and you can post your property, you can look at property. Like, I mean, y'all would probably get access because I'm sure y'all have done the mastermind stuff. So I think it's going to be very beneficial for the whole like commercial real estate community in general.
So you mentioned a minimum requirements. What are the minimum requirements? Can you go in a detail?
Yeah. So originally I had it at 5 million assets under management. And this can be anything, like it can be industrial, office, whatever. But I dropped it down to 1 million right now. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find that sweet spot where it's right above the mom and pop, where it's professional, where like these guys transact all the time. That's what they do. And like yourselves, eventually, like, you're going to be closing, multiple deals. Some people close 3 deals a month. Some people close 1 deal a year. It all depends on your motivation and what you want to do. And like the platform is more for performance. It's not so much for like just your mom and pop, like, oh, I own like a fourplex and it's like over $1 million. It's more for like, I'm trying to acquire like 50 units. Like, I'm trying to acquire 50 units every month. stuff like that. But obviously, the properties have to be in there for that. But you have to get started somewhere. So yeah, that's the minimum requirements. It's the assets under management, or if you don't have that, you have the mastermind exception, and that's what I was talking about earlier with going to the seminars. You have your capital company together, just like yourselves. You have the means or network that you could raise the capital, and then obviously you can go in there. And this is kind of like my way of opening up commercial real estate to the people that really deserve it. And going back to my previous statements, like when I first started and I was trying to get in the market and stuff, like you have to build these relationships with the brokers. And this is just the industry. Like I'm not hating on them because like they have to get their bread. But what happens is like they only care about the money. So like if they don't know you personally, they're going to get this property, they're going to keep it off market, they're not going to post it, and they're going to take it immediately to their number one client that's got $100 million worth of units because they know that they're going to close. And then you don't see the properties, and then it's not like 100% open for everybody. This way, it's a little bit more open. You can actually get access to it. Yeah, it's more
Means you're
efficient.
trying
It's
to
way better.
keep only for the real estate professionals.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I mean the ones that get these properties off market anyway, they are the professional ones. They're the ones that do this all the time. Yeah, it's just providing a alternate solution compared to what there is. Just like like Coca-Cola maybe has like 60% market share, and then Pepsi has like 40%. It's just this is brokers with 95%, and this is me trying to provide an alternate solution for everybody else. And if you
So when can we expect the solution to be live and ready to be used?
well, the website's up now. You can log in now. There's properties in there now. I'm currently like I just had a call this past Friday with the social network part of it.
Nice.
I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 months. I mean, everything's working, everything's live now. I'm just adding on features as I go,
Gotcha.
if that makes sense. So like I can give you
Awesome.
access now. Like when you apply and you put your information in, nothing happens. I send you an email, and then as long as the application goes through and you're good, I'll send you like a unique link, and then through that link you just click, you can log in, and then you have access to everything. So
So
it's
before
not.
we wrap this up, got it, got it. So before we wrap this up, where can people find out more about your project and what you do?
Yeah, go to multivested.com. It's multivested. I also have a Facebook and a Instagram that I will post on. But yeah, the website and Instagram is probably the number one thing to stay up to date on it.
Got it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I think this is a really cool platform that
Yeah.
has a lot of potential. So thank you so much for at least kind of explaining the process, how it works. I think there's going to be a lot of benefits down the road.
Yeah,
Thank you,
absolutely. And
Joseph.
I
Thank you for your
appreciate
time.
the time, and I think what y'all are doing is awesome too. I mean, like y'all, like, I mean, I could absolutely go ahead and give y'all access because like I know that y'all have a capital company, like y'all have your stuff together. So just and I'll get back to you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All
Thank you.
right. Awesome. Thank you so much.